Whoa, whoa. Hello everybody, welcome to Cover Stories. We're gonna have a little talk now. Hello everybody, welcome to Cover Stories. This is a video podcast. We're back, Olivier.
Salut Forest.
C'est quoi ça?
C'est un petit zombie, rien. Aujourd'hui, t'es en voyage, mec. On va en Écosse. On va à Glasgow. On va en banlieue de Glasgow aujourd'hui. Parce que notre guest est écossais. Il est guitariste, chanteur, producteur, compositeur de Baby Chaos depuis le début, depuis 1993. Il a joué dans Descartes avec ses camarades de Baby Chaos. Il officie aujourd'hui aussi au sein d'un autre groupe qui s'appelle Union of Knives, un groupe beaucoup plus électro que Baby Chaos. Et il travaille dans son propre studio, il fait de la production. Il a notamment enregistré le dernier album de notre pop club en date, Arrangé. Et pour toi, Forest, il a revisité Space Oddity de David Bowie. C'est très planant et ça ressemble à ça.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the castle if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping
Welcome, Chris. Bienvenue.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Technology works.
We're such pros.
Chris Gordon, yeah, thanks for making time. It's great to get to see you again because we haven't seen each other for a long time.
3-4 years or something. When was that tour that we did? Was it 4 years ago?
Might be 5, no?
I don't know. I want to say 2014.
Really? No.
I don't know. When did you release the
Anyway,
Big
look.
Chaos album on Kicking?
Early 26, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? We could be at this all day.
Yeah. The first question I always ask to everybody who does this podcast is, do you remember how both of you met?
It was that tour in 2016 and Forrest was playing in one of the bands and also driving the minibus that we were in. So we would have met Forrest at the airport in Paris when you guys picked us up.
I remember we waited for you guys outside for a while because there was a bomb threat. You
Yeah,
remember
well,
that?
I called that in, so it was just, something to do. Just as we landed, I called up the bomb threat. Check the security forces were on the ball, so.
How efficient are the French guys?
They were all over it.
That tour was really fun for me, and it was great to have you guys in the van too.
We loved it as well. We'd love to do it again sometime. I think one of the things we all remember from it was you, Forrest, insisting that we never stopped at like a normal service station. You always just took us off the road into some town and made us get coffee in like an old man bar.
Yeah.
We would never have done that. If it was just us driving the van, we would never have thought of doing that kind of thing. So it was a really nice way to see some rural bits of France.
I'm glad that's a good memory.
Yeah, well, I mean, I assume that's just something that you probably still do all the time.
It's more fun. You get to meet the people and there's stories. I think I remember the one we stopped in between, was it Épinal and Strasbourg, the last show? It was weird even for us being French, being in that kind of place.
Yeah.
They were like,
yeah.
The Scottish guys, they're having a good time.
Yeah, for me, that tour was really cool. Since I've been a Baby Chaos fan for like 20 years or something.
Yeah.
Like the first time I met you was like, I don't know, like when your first album came out in France, it was like 95 maybe, or
yeah.
It was great that 20 years later we would do a tour together. It was pretty amazing. So how did you react when Forrest offered you this experiment, like to rearrange a classic David Bowie song?
I mean, I was just like, oh, Christ. I suppose I better do that.
Did you think, oh my God, this is just like being with the hip hop club? It's horrible.
Shit. I'm so fucking busy. Why does he have to push this on me now?
Those French fucks and their stupid ideas.
If I'd thought that Forrest was an asshole and hadn't got on with him on that tour, I would just have blanked the email. But I remember like him as just a lovely guy, and you know, a great musician obviously as well. And I thought, yeah, totally, I'll do that. I mean, I was really busy, but I thought, yeah, I'll do that. I'll squeeze it in somehow.
I appreciate you took time to do it. It's
No worries.
it's amazing.
How did you approach the song? I mean, because you know, there's a lot of layers in your cover, a lot of guitars, keyboards. I don't know exactly what instrument you use.
Yeah, that was probably how I wanted to approach it. Was not to have a particularly traditional arrangement in mind. I mean, I imagine that was sort of partly informed by the fact that I've been doing things with Union and Knives again, and that, you know, no sound is kind of left like a pure, there's a guitar, it's obviously a guitar, it's all kind of processed. That was probably just on my mind in terms of production when I did this, to offer something a little bit unusual. I mean, I imagine, but I obviously haven't heard the rest of the songs on the project. I would have thought like a lot of people that were contributing in their sort of area of expertise kind of thing. So if Forest was working with other rock musicians, they would maybe make a more rocky arrangement. And that, plus just because it's interesting to me to make music in that way rather than just, you know, going straight down, here's a bass guitar and some drums. It's just more interesting for me to play with sounds and find like new sounds and take them somewhere else, you know. I
wasn't very familiar with all your production work, actually. I asked you because I know that you do production and that we met on that tour, and that, you know, I really appreciated hanging out with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no expectation at all. And then again, I don't know. This is actually what happened with most of the guys I asked to do this.
Right.
There are 12 people doing this, and everything is like completely different. And so I listened to a little bit more of like Union of Knives afterwards, and I was like, oh, all right.
That makes sense.
Get it. But I really asked you because it was you, not because I knew your work. I was like, I know you do this. Just try it out. So it was kind of like a blank page for me, this thing, just like, let's see what happens. I never thought this would go this far. I never thought this recording would go to being on a record. I actually just wanted to kill time and put some songs on Bandcamp, just acoustic and singing. It kind of grew, and everything was very spontaneous. So everything was last minute. Even doing the podcasts, this is like, oh, let's do this. The thing with the record is that I also write little stories about each song I chose to cover. So that's why the record is called Cover Stories, because, you know, I write little anecdotes for each song. They're all songs that have this big significance in your life. Yeah, it just happened, or it just rings a memory, or that's kind of, so it's not like these are the songs I like best in the world. It's not that kind of compilation.
Right. Forrest, you should tell the story about this song to Chris, because it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So here it is. Some friends of mine got married 2017 or something, and they asked me if I could cover a Bowie song and play a full show at their dinner. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course, love to do that. And so they send me the Bowie song by email, like, oh, this is the song. So okay, I'll work on it. And then at the end of the show, I played it last. It's like, all right, I did it. I went to see him at the end of the show, at the end of my show, and I'm like, so yeah, congratulations, guys. I'm really happy for you. Hope you like the Bowie song. It was tough, you know. I'm not used to playing those kind of chords on the guitar. I'm a punk rock guitar player. It took some work. They're like, yeah, it was lovely. We loved it, but that wasn't the song we asked you for. What was the song they asked for? Well, they asked for Space Oddity. I'm trying to right or wrong, actually, putting Space Oddity on the record. So what Bowie song did you play then? I did Life on Mars. Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, it's an obvious mistake to make. Right. I mean, so yeah. So I tell all those stories in the record and stuff. So what did it feel like when they said it was the wrong song? Oh, I felt I wanted to turn into a little squirrel and just run into a tree. I should get out of here. Like, this is your big day. Ta-da! But how did you, was it not like written down in an email? Was it just a conversation and you just picked it up wrong? No, so the story is that I've been listening to Life on Mars for a long time and thinking like, oh, I'd like to cover it, but it's really complicated and I'm lazy. So I never got into it. And I think that just brought up it's just a mind fuck up. Yeah. I was like, yeah, sure, that boy song, no problem. And then I'll just work on whatever I want.
Oh, that's good.
I worked on it for like more than a month, you know, to not knowing that it was the wrong song. Because I'm a professional.
Yep. Get great personal expense to yourself.
And how long did it take you to work on this cover, Chris?
I didn't just do it all at once. I had a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, a day or two, and there's a lot of different chords in there.
Yeah.
So I feel Forrest's pain when he had to learn that other song. I'm kind of working out the bass line and stuff, and go, God, Jesus, it changes again here.
Yeah. And first, you can tell him what Alex said when he received the cover. Alex is the one who makes the album.
All right, it was like the kind of engineer that was putting it all together. Yeah.
Right. When he got your song, he wrote me a text. He said, "Dude, Chris Gordon is a genius." It's amazing.
I'm not touching this.
Why did you not forward this text before now? This fragile ego needs all the propping up it can get.
I got a little confused with there's a little glass sound in your drum loop.
Oh, you know what? You mentioned that in an email, and I probably never get back to you because I'm pretty bad at getting back to people sometimes. Right. So I've got the session here. Let me see if I can find the sound. How far into the song is it?
It comes up right in the beginning. It's in the loop.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a loop. Let me try and isolate that. You can edit all this later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what it is. It's just part of a loop that I found. So it's not used to it.
Right. And when I got that, I couldn't figure out if it was a rhythm or I couldn't count it. And I was like, when it just pops out anywhere. But then a friend of mine who's a really good drummer, I put the song on, he listened to it, and I was like, see, you hear that thing? It's kind of weird. It pops out nowhere. And he's like, no, it's not. And he listened to it, and every time he popped up, he was like, here.
So he could hear what it was in the loop.
He figured out when it came in, and then when I understood it, I was like, oh, well, fine. I'm not bugged anymore because I know.
And that's the genius. That's the genius.
The genius from Scotland.
My phone fell off.
Man.
Has there been a lot of Baby Chaos covers?
Or like, and I think the Wild Hearts cover Rearrange You once.
Oh yeah.
And the Flying Donuts had something on their vinyl release for their concert on the tour that we did.
Exactly.
I think it was Breathe that they did, wasn't it? From the first album. Those are like the more prominent ones. And then, as I say, like now and again, someone will send me like an MP3 of something recorded in a rehearsal studio or something like that. And you're like, oh, that's nice. It's gratifying to think. Because as I always say, like, I don't think Baby Chaos were ever a particularly big band, but I do find it astonishing that we are held so dearly in a small amount of people's hearts, you know, and they still listen to the old records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is very much a compliment when somebody actually does record a version and send it on.
I was never really keen on cover records. It always seemed like it was lazy a little bit for me. They're not my songs. It was kind of like, it's all right because I'm not doing the arrangements. Yeah. It doesn't all depend on me. Yeah. And I feel like people who were arranging, they were like, nah, not my name on the record. I can do whatever I want. So nobody was in charge, really. Everybody felt quite free just to do whatever they wanted rather than sometimes being a bit uptight about what's my reputation. It was really close. Most people had a lot of fun doing it. So that was very rewarding for me too.
Especially during this pandemic. It's like most of the people we talked to were happy to kind of play with such a thing.
A lot of people had way more time on their hands than usual.
Yeah.
You were pretty busy.
Yeah.
Because I've obviously got my own space here where I record and stuff. Even if I'm not busy working for someone else, then there's always something on the go, you know, and the next album for this or that. So yeah, I'm never like sat here twiddling my thumbs.
And,
You know that expression, right? Thumb twiddling.
Yeah, we do that in France too.
It's international.
I'll try not to send you other songs to rearrange.
I could probably squeeze a few more in. Well, it's always nice, like, just to be like involved in different things, and also like in different things from different countries, and just lead into then nice conversations like this where I get to see you guys again. It's great.
The Zoom is almost over.
Out of time, yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not
Well,
paid.
it was like we just naturally knew, having done so many Zoom calls, it just came to a beautiful natural end.
So before we get cut off, man, thanks again for everything. No, it's a
Very
real
welcome.
pleasure.
It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if either of you are ever in Glasgow again, then you have to look me up and
Of course,
come and say hello.
We will, yeah, and hopefully we'll manage to put a tour together when everything starts over, and that would be a great idea, actually.
The boys always talk about that little jaunt, and everybody would absolutely love to do it again. So
Yeah, I'm sure the French people would be super happy too. So that's
let's
cool.
go get some more cafes.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks again, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye. Great to
Cheers.
see you.
Take care.
Whoa, whoa. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cover Stories. We're gonna have a little talk now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cover Stories. This is a video podcast.
I'll be back.
Ça, c'est super.